Hello everyone, I am Struggling Playwright and your host Michael English.
And I am also host, finally back from the dead, Mikey Mills, and we're struggling to write.
Mikey, where have you been for the past month? It's been a while.
Oh, I know, I've been struggling to show up.
Yeah.
Mostly because I've been traveling around. I had to go on a trip to pick up some parts for an organ I'm working on.
Yeah?
And
Where'd you go?
Pennsylvania.
How was that?
And then I went down to Virginia. It was fun.
I love Virginia. You were in Richmond.
Oh yeah, in Richmond, visiting my friend who has a really elaborate and beautiful band organ.
Right.
It's Ruth 36X, has a real working orchestra in the front.
If you love history, Richmond's the place for you.
Oh yeah.
Lots of history down there.
Lots of beautiful buildings, like with the original, even murals on the side that you can still see. I really like that.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big history nut.
Me too.
Speaking of history, we have some big news that we're getting ready to share here on Struggling to Write. How should we let them know?
I might as well just go right into it.
All right.
We're going to Montana
for the summer. Mikey and I will be in Montana, Virginia City, Montana.
And we'll be with the Virginia City Players.
The illustrious
Virginia City Players. Which I am so excited about.
Me too. It's running 4 shows?
4 shows, I think. And what's cool, I love the space. You have a lot of opportunities for different kinds of shows. And I also love the fact that we seem to have some creative freedom. And our boss, who's been watching our videos.
Shout out to Bill and Christina.
And I really love his vision on the theater and the shows, and just giving actors creative freedom to do what they love.
Yeah, it's really cool. So we're doing The Wizard of Oz. That's our first show down there.
The Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. And then we are doing Rustle Your Bustle, which is like a variety show of sorts.
Like a vaudeville show. I am
very
so excited for that.
That's going to be fun.
I can finally bring out my songbooks of 1920s, 1910s hits.
This job was made for you.
Literally.
And then we're doing A Christmas in July, which I'm really excited about. And then we're doing The Wolfman of the West.
The Wolfman of the West.
Which is going to be a whole lot of fun. But yeah, we will be in Montana from June all the way until September. So we will be leaving Kentucky, and we will be 1,000 miles away from home. And
are we 1,000?
Yeah, it's over 1,000.
Wow!
I think
I have never driven that far before.
It's like a 30-something hour drive. It's crazy.
Oh, I thought it was only 26 hours.
It is. Well, if you do it on Apple, it says it's 36, and then you go to Google Maps, and then it says it's only 24.
Well, I'm gonna hope it's the 24.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long haul though.
But it's such a beautiful area out there. It's like an hour south of Yellowstone Park.
Right.
You got all this wildlife, all this beautiful nature stuff that we're excited to see.
We might get to see an antelope in the wild for the first time.
Or a moose.
That'll be cool.
You got a bunch of wild moose.
Is it moose or elk?
Moose.
Oh. Are you sure?
I think. As far as I know, it's moose.
So you know what's weird is our first episode of Struggling to Write, you mentioned...
Because I've been thinking about this town for years. They got all these wonderful and very rare band organs there.
Right. You mentioned it.
And yeah, because when I think of the Wild West, I think of Virginia City, Montana, which is right next to Nevada City, Montana.
Another very cool place.
They're basically, in walking distance of another.
I think so. I think it's, they probably know better than I do, but 13 minutes walk, maybe. I'm wrong. But yeah, they're walking distance. And it's
all these old buildings.
It's
where you feel like you're in the Wild West. It looks like the Wild West. They got a bunch of artifacts from the Wild West. It is a cool place, and I've wanted to go to for years.
A ton of player pianos.
You can even go into a bar, order a drink, and put a nickel in the slot just like they did years ago.
Just like they did.
That is so cool. I think that's the only place you can still do that.
That's awesome.
And
you know what's weird?
What?
In our first episode, not only did you mention Virginia City Players, but I rewatched it because Bill had called me and he was he was talking to me about things, and he said, I think it's so funny that you mentioned Virginia City in the first episode. And I was like, we did? I didn't realize, and you had brought it up because of the player piano.
Oh, yeah.
But also in that first episode, I randomly bring up The Wizard of Oz, and there's a section of the episode where I'm sitting here and I say, The Wizard of Oz, and then I never say anything else about it. So it's just very strange.
one of my favorite places. It's right near Yellowstone Park. It's Virginia City, Montana.
Well,
This is unique.
I mean,
field.
I take inspiration from everything. I think as a writer, everyone does
sure.
that. The Wizard of Oz, I was
Don't
getting.
admit it.
What a big coincidence.
Things really, they have a way of coming together somehow. You never know how, but it always seems to work out somehow.
That's the truth.
But I am just extremely excited. I can't wait to get there. It's a completely new place for me. I've only been west of Minnesota once, and that's in Los Angeles. Everything in between, never been to.
I've never been anywhere west.
Really?
Farthest west I've been is Chicago, and that's not
No
even
kidding.
west. Yeah, I'm planning on vlogging every single day.
That'll be cool. And I think, sharing all these videos and pictures from Virginia City, Montana, it's a place worth visiting. If you're watching this, you should seriously consider going. Like, look it up, Virginia City, Montana. It looks like something out of a Clint Eastwood movie.
Come see us this summer in one of these 4 shows at the illustrious Virginia City Players. It's a great place. I'm hoping that in my downtime there, I come up. Brett said that he thinks I'm gonna make my Hamilton when I'm there. He thinks I'm gonna make the best play I've ever written while I'm in Virginia City.
And when you said Hamilton, I thought would be the worst play you've ever written.
Well, I also am not a big fan of Hamilton. But what he means is he thinks that Hamilton...
Your magnum opus.
Yes, he thinks it, and maybe it could be for both of us.
Oh, I'm definitely going to write out there. It's inspirational, first of all, to work with a theater in the first place. When I get inspiration to write, I'm usually in a show or have watched a show recently.
Right.
You get that very, it's like a feeling, this theater mood. It's inspirational, it's happy. I'm always happy when I write.
Me too. I have written a show based on Virginia City. So the day I found out I got cast, I was like so excited. And to go off of what you're saying, I write when I'm in a happy mood, and I was so excited that I was like, okay, this is so cool because there's such a cool history here. So I looked up a bunch of the history, and I wrote a show called Goldheart, which is basically All Shook Up but gold miners.
Oh, really?
Yeah, kind of. And there's a real character that's named Henry Plummer, who was like a bandit out there, and he was actually in Virginia City, Montana. And I wrote a story about that. And it's already inspired me to write something. And I think it's inspired you to write something as well.
Yes, I wrote a prototype script for the Wolfman of the West.
Right.
And I like it. But there's like a little bit of miscommunication where I kind of went a direction that's a little different.
Right.
But I figured we could read a little bit of it because your character is hilarious. I can just see you doing it right now. We haven't read it yet.
No.
But we're about to.
It's but nonetheless, it inspired you. You heard you were going to do Wolfman of the West, and it inspired you to write your own script. And I think your script's really good.
But yeah, I wanted to write a family-friendly show. I do like that genre.
Right.
And I went with this idea of the Wolfman of the West and just went with it.
So we will be reading. What is the title of this show? Are you going with the Wolfman of the West, or is this a working title because it's not the Wolfman of the West?
Well, yeah, this is just a working title.
Okay.
I like this script.
Right.
I'm probably going to modify it and change it into something else if it's not, the Wolfman of the West. I don't want to take that title from the illustrious Virginia City Players.
Right.
So if it's not the script, then I'm going to change it significantly. But I do like the general plot structure.
Right, well, why not? If you've already wrote this much of it, then...
Right. We're going to read a scene. It is your circus scene, or one of them.
So a little backstory about about your script. What's the main gist?
Okay, good point. So this is about Harry Hampton and Elizabeth Hampton. This is a couple moving from Chicago out west. Or no, not Chicago, Colorado. They're moving from Colorado out west, and for a new life. And the first scene introduces them and Harry H names.
Harry.
I can never get it right.
Not Harold from The Music Man.
Oh, I love that show. But okay, so they're riding in a wagon out west from Colorado, and it's Harry and Elizabeth talking romantically, and the mother-in-law is with them, which I don't know. I've always thought the mother-in-law shtick is funny.
Yeah, it is.
Then, but before that, someone gets attacked by the Wolfman or a werewolf, and this is Pastor Pudgy, a character name I came up with that I thought was just hilarious.
Right.
And yeah, he gets attacked by a wolf. He lives, like he's not seriously injured. It's revealed in like the next scene that it's really that he just fell over and that's why he got injured. Then I have to look at the script to remember what I wrote. I can never go through it just in my head.
Happens.
Then it goes back to them getting to the store. They're introduced to the mayor of the town. Then it switches to your character, the evil circus, coming to town. And they're planning to just scam people. And they hear about this Wolfman that attacks someone in Colorado. So they want to copy it, introduce a fake Wolfman.
Right.
So one of his employees, Mario. I pictured him a guy from Brooklyn talking like this.
Right.
And, he's forced to be the fake Wolfman. And
for the circus.
This is that scene.
All right, let's do it.
Wait a minute, this isn't the scene.
So we're looking at the script on a laptop today, so I'm gonna really have to squint to see.
Oh, I can turn up the brightness if you want.
Can you make the page bigger?
I think. Let's see. See if I can work my magic. Actually, I can make it real big.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. 150%.
All right. Scene 6, the circus camp.
Spectacularo, arms crossed, is watching Mario, who is now dressed as the Wolfman. Zora, next to Spectacularo, is also... I never actually said the name Spectacularo until now. That is a hard thing to say.
Spectacularo. I like it.
That's the evil circus man.
Is his real name James?
Yes.
Everyone watching doesn't understand that joke. We'll keep it at there. Can't you do something? Anything to be more scary?
I'm sorry, boss, but this costume doesn't stretch and it muffles my voice.
Okay, let's try something else. Improvise.
He turns to Zora.
Zora, darling, could you please stand next to the Wolfman?
She follows his direction.
Okay, I see it now. I announce you both. Yes?
He clears his throat and goes into his ringmaster voice, pacing the stage with showmanship.
Here we have, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most vile, disturbing creatures for your amazement and wonder. Half beast, half man, yes, sir, the same Wolfman from the news. The same Wolfman who causes destruction and terror wherever he goes.
To Mario.
Now growl.
Rawr!
Oh, that sends a chill up my spine. Yes, it does, folks. Untamed and untrained. We truly don't know what he'll do and what he's capable of.
To Mario.
Now lunge forward and howl.
Ow!
Zora, react.
Oh!
Now, closer, folks. It's for your safety. Why, I trust any of my wild animals more than the Wolfman. He's always on the prowl and always hungry. Any of you look just like a ribeye steak to him. It's true, ladies and gentlemen, a thing like this can only be seen at the
Spectacularo.
At the Spectacularo Circus. Now, grab Zora and shake her around a little bit.
Zora offers Mario her hand. He gently guides her center stage and shakes her. She yells out, "Oh, you beast! You monster!"
Our beloved fortune teller Zora, captured in the clutches of this creature, the Wolfman, stronger than 1,000 oxen, fiercer than 1,000,000 tigers. What are we to do? Now, Zora, do your whole mind control routine, and Mario, let's get into a trance.
Zora waves her hands as to control him. Mario stands center stage.
Is that...
I'm playing two characters at once.
Ah, but you see, is that a piece of chicken?
Yes.
Ah, but you see, our beautiful and talented fortune teller is always one step ahead. Not only do we have the Wolfman, but we can control the Wolfman. Zora, darling, could you make him dance?
Most certainly. She waves her hands more aggressively. You've gotta be kidding me. Boss, please!
Zora, darling, should we remind the Wolfman what happens if he doesn't do what I say?
Ah! He starts into a simple dance routine.
That's good.
Zora mimicking him and controlling his moves.
For only $2, not $3, not $4, $2, you can see the Wolfman in tent number 4. He not only is violent, raging, monster, but he can dance and sing Swan River with a voice deeper than the Grand Canyon.
I'm a tenor!
Perfect. It's all set then. That's what we're going to do.
To Mario.
Mario, do better. Pretend you're talking to someone you truly despise. Can you do that?
Now that you put it that way, I think I can.
Good. Zora, you were perfect. I couldn't ask for a better enchantress.
Thank you, James. Hey, I thought your name was Spectacularo.
It is. Now, get out of here.
Mario exits. I'm sorry, darling. Should I not call you by your first name?
A ringmaster must always keep up his act, shouldn't he?
I suppose so. You don't think this Wolfman routine could backfire, could it?
Oh, it's no more than a sham for your fortunes. People want a good show. What is real or fake? It doesn't really matter.
Ah, but there really is a Wolfman, though.
And he's far, far from here. So is the surviving priest. What are the chances he comes to town?
And of course, the next scene, the priest comes to town.
I never would have guessed it.
Yep, so that's a scene from my script.
I like it. I really like that character.
Yeah, I think it's
a fun bit.
So what happens at the end? Because I have this all planned out, this script.
Right.
So this one I'm gonna finish. I'm no longer struggling on this. I know exactly how it ends.
Good. Proud of you.
With this,
smells like chicken in here now.
I know. Not just any chicken. The best chicken out there. Popeyes, please sponsor us.
I have bad news for you. I don't think there is one fast food restaurant, including a Popeyes, like anywhere near Virginia City, Montana. There is a Mexican restaurant.
All right, that's good enough for me. But what happens at the end of the script? So the real Wolfman, who attacks the person in Colorado, I didn't want to make anything obvious.
Right.
The real Wolfman is this guy's wife, Henry or Harry or whatever the main character's name is. His wife Elizabeth is the actual Wolfman. So Wolfwoman. You know, it comes out of left field, but so she transforms. But she doesn't know she transforms. It's her mother-in-law, or her mother, the guy's mother-in-law,
right,
who is, feeding her and keeping her, in check. And the husband is a traveling salesman, so he's never had the chance to see her. One of the reasons they're moving out to Montana is so they can connect and save their marriage. Love story there.
Right.
But, so they discover it, and the circus man, he gets exposed because the priest comes to town, and they realize that Mario isn't actually the Wolfman. But then there's an attack on the priest again, where he, survives, of course. Again, he just tumbles over, and that's how he gets injured. And so the circus guy captures the Wolfman, the real Wolfman.
Right.
And, what happens is, the husband, the mother-in-law finally tells the husband, okay, your wife is the Wolfman, you need to save her. And he goes with the priest, and, the circus performer, or the circus ringmaster guy, and Harry, they fight, they get in a big fight, and it looks, bleak for my character, Harry.
Right.
Boy, I'm losing all these names. But, because again, it's like all off the top of my head.
Right.
So they fight, it's looking bleak. And then Pudgy the priest is like, I'll save you, and runs, jumps and hurls into the ringmaster. You see it, you hear a loud crash from off stage, and then a little yelp. You know, the guy says, Pudgy the priest says, "I'm okay," and
Happy
it's
ending.
a happy ending because the main guy then talks to his wife. "Oh, I'm sorry, I've been absent all this time, being a traveling salesman and not focusing on her marriage." She transforms from the Wolfman into, you know,
How does
the
she
woman.
transform?
Well, I haven't thought of that motivation yet.
That's okay.
That is the one struggle.
Okay.
But everything else is somewhat in set.
Maybe something that the circus guy has, or Zora, you could make her good in the end.
And maybe
could
she
have
was
something
connected.
that could fix her.
Maybe she's the reason why she transformed in the first place.
Maybe she's actually a genuine fortune teller, and the guy just thinks she's a scam, so he cast her in his band.
Or she's like an enchantress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Maybe,
really is.
I don't know. I got to think about it. That's
Good question.
but that's a good point.
That's good, though. I'm excited to see how this differs from the Wolfman script that we'll be doing.
Yeah.
this
Oh, I
summer.
know.
It's very interesting and fun because I love, like, we bring up Sleepy Hollow every time, but like how we both have written Sleepy Hollows and how they're so similar in ways, but then they're also so different. And it's interesting to see everyone's different takes on things.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about theater. There's so many shows out there by so many different authors that obviously the same topics and the same plots are going to get used.
Right.
But everybody has a little bit different perspective
Right.
on how they tell the story.
Right.
And that's why I love theater. You know, the movies, TV, you have the same couple studios producing everything. But with theater, you get writers from all over. And you get a lot of fantastic work. I was like chewing my food while reading the script. I really hope that doesn't get through in the video too bad.
Oh, it'll be fine.
Oh boy, you'll probably zoom in too. You'll zoom into me chewing my food.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
You knew if you ate a chicken leg on the camera, I was going to zoom in on you
of course,
eating the chicken.
Of course.
But no, I'm excited not only to get to perform with Virginia City Players and see Virginia City, Montana, but I'm also excited because I would love to bring cast and crew onto our podcast. I know our setup probably won't look like anything like this there. We'll probably be in a small little cabin with a couple microphones, but I would love to have some of them on the show and talk about our scripts and stuff they've done and things they're interested in too. Because we haven't had a ton of guest stars on here.
Yeah, you're right.
And
It's been Luke, Tony,
Nathan Roberts.
Great
guy. And that's about it, though. We need some more.
Oh, yeah.
We need some more.
There's just so much to offer out there. And the place is outside of, the West, relatively unknown. But I think it deserves some exposure and push online.
That's what we're
So
going
I'd like
do.
to even, I'd love to film videos of, the band organs out there.
You should.
The orchestrions, everything.
You should, like I was telling you, you should do TikToks, too.
Oh, yeah.
I saw your post on your player piano community where you
Oh,
were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
This girl on TikTok. Yeah, you should start making...
And, yeah, this, what was it? Herb or something, the player piano.
Right.
It's like this huge thing, gets millions of views. So the problem is these orchestrions, they're not like a player piano where lyrics are printed on the roll. So I'd have to write lyrics out or something in the video, which I could do.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
But could be worth it.
It could be worth it.
Yeah, I'm going for a whole different rebrand. So if you know me from TikTok, I got 1.2 million followers once for making Amish jokes, and then then it switched over to me owning a rubber duck store. But this summer,
What the duck?
This summer I'm taking a whole different approach, and I'm going for a whole cowboy thing.
I remember, just to reminisce for a second,
Okay.
I remember the conversation. We were at El Paso, a Mexican restaurant that we hold near and dear to our hearts.
We're gonna miss it.
Oh, we're going to miss it.
And I said, Mikey, I'm opening a rubber duck store.
And I was eating chips, I had a cup of queso, cup of salsa.
A
So
cherry
good.
bomb.
Cherry bomb. And you're like, so what should we call it? I was like, I don't know, what the duck?
And I said, that's it.
That's it.
So if you, behind the scenes, if you ever wanted to know who came up with What the Duck, it was this guy right here.
The name, Olmix.
I'm going through a rebrand, and I'm gonna be dressing up as a cowboy this summer as much as I can. Now I know it's pretty warm in Montana, I think, at least during the day. So hopefully I don't get too hot. But my plan is to have a cowboy hat in Western wear, and we're gonna be living in a Wild West town, so why not, reenact it? But I'm gonna vlog as much as I can, and I'm gonna try to do it every single day. But we'll see if that actually happens.
It's hard
It
to
is.
make content every day. I've tried it.
But
I've
we'll
tried
have
to do
something to
TikTok.
post about.
Right. And being in a new space is always inspiring.
Right.
No matter where you go, even if I go on a trip to Chicago or Indianapolis, I always feel like a rush of inspiration once I get back, or while I'm there, really too. Traveling is just great.
It is, and we have quite a drive. So we're gonna be how many states are we going through?
So we're gonna go through Indiana, Illinois. I think this is the route. Then we shoot up through Wisconsin, Minnesota, and then from there, I'm not sure the states. But yeah, we're going through quite a bit.
I've heard things like that Billings, Montana, is pretty dangerous. I'm a little nervous for that. And also I hear that there's Indian reservations that you shouldn't pass through on your way there.
Really?
Yeah, so we're going to have to do our research on that.
Billings, I thought that was a safe place.
Apparently they have active terrorism there all the time. And
What?
It's like one of the biggest cities. But I don't know. I saw a TikTok and the guy said that it's one of the biggest places. They have active terrorists and landmines like across the city that you could just step on. So
You're joking.
I promise.
Landmine?
Yeah.
There's no way a city in America has landmines.
I think it's like there's groups that go against the government or something. He was talking about it. I don't know. This is just a TikTok, though. This isn't a news article.
Strange.
So I don't know. Bill and Christina, let us know if we should avoid Billings, Montana.
Yeah, right.
But, yeah, we're very excited.
I am just thrilled to have this opportunity, really humbled to have been asked to come down there, and I am just so excited to share new experiences with, them and the whole cast, really.
Yeah.
I think there'll be a lot of new people that are great to get to know.
Bill says that we have a woman in the cast that was a part of a circus
Yeah.
growing up. That's really interesting.
Which is wild. Like, I wanted it in the script to write like an acrobat, but
right.
I don't really know much about acrobats, so I don't
want to
know
write
how
it
to write
wrong.
one. Yeah, right.
Get judged for it.
I always avoid writing characters that I don't really understand.
Yeah, I agree. I'll start a script and then I realize that if I write someone as an occupation as a doctor and I don't know the medical world at all.
I couldn't do doctor, couldn't do lawyer.
I always make my people like they have a job in the arts or something because I know how to do that. Yeah.
Or a shopkeep. I can understand a shopkeep.
Fairly easy.
Innkeeper, bartender.
Yeah, those are pretty.
You can understand that.
Pretty safe options. Yeah, I was watching Virginia City Players' old videos on their YouTube, and it was very interesting. Because they're vaudeville, that's the big thing, and they did like old Charlie Chaplin skits, and there was one that was like a cowboy chasing after this woman. It was looked really fun, and I know they hadn't posted those in a while, but I want to do one this summer. So
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
For our musical goodbye today, we're going to be singing a rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow that Mikey has written, based upon Virginia City, Montana. Take it away, Mikey.
Somewhere in old Montana, I'll be there. It's... Ooh, bad note. That's a low D. That's hard to hit.
Hard.
It's so great in Montana. That is where we will be.
So yeah, that's our big news, and we're headed out west this summer.
Yeehaw!
So we'll see you in Montana. We'll see you before Montana, but we'll see you in Montana too this summer. Mikey, thanks for coming on as a guest tonight.
A guest?
I'm just kidding, buddy.
Whew, scare me there.
Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. I don't know the rest of the lyrics.
Somewhere in Montana.
Oh, I was supposed to change the lyrics.
That's pretty good.
I could do better if I could have hit that D.
Oh, I'm leaving that in.
No.